Do you ever feel like the women you're interested in don't see you? Like no matter what you say, or how hard you try, or even how much effort you put into looking the part, it's like they don't even notice you exist. That's you. Keep reading, because what I'm about to say will change how women see you and how you see yourself. Now, here's the truth that most men don't want to hear. Attraction isn't about having a six-figure bank account, looking like a Hollywood star, or learning cheesy pickup lines. Those things are just distractions. The secret isn't what society has been telling you. It's something much deeper and more meaningful. In today's movie, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. My name is James, and I will expose you to the unvarnished reality of attraction, viewed through the perspectives of masculinity and self-mastery. This should wake you up, because the game rules are not what you thought they were. However, here's the catch. These ideas aren't just about women, they're about life in general. They come from the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. You see, the old Stoics knew something that most men today don't. Overlook. They believed in living with purpose, becoming resilient, and owning your worth no matter what other people think. This isn't about fake confidence or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming a man who is grounded, focused, and untouchable. A man who attracts women not because he chases them, but because he radiates strength, certainty, and presence. Being calm and sure of yourself can help. This is not an idyllic story. Telling the truth requires you to confront the aspects of yourself you've been avoiding, which can be uncomfortable. But I promise you that if you're ready to take that first step, everything will change. This isn't just another video about attracting women. It's a blueprint for transforming into the man you've always envisioned. The truth, which may hurt a little, is that the key to attracting women has nothing to do with how you look, what car you drive, or even the clever lines you think will make them fall in love with you. It's not about showing off your money or being too confident. It all comes down to one thing: how you think. And here's the catch. The problem is that most men get this totally wrong, which hurts them. Let me make this crystal. Make it clear, confidence doesn't mean that loud, fake, in-your-face kind of swagger that some guys try to pull off. That's just insecurity dressed up in a cheap way. True confidence. People are drawn to the kind of quiet, solid confidence that comes from knowing who you are and being okay with that, no matter what other people think. Think of someone you look up to, like a guide, a friend, or even a historical figure like Marcus Aurelius. What makes them unique? I bet it's not how they look or how much money they have. Their energy, presence, and cool, collected demeanor are what make you trust them without them having to say a word. That's real confidence. There's something powerful and rare about it. Guys who aren't chasing women or desperately trying to prove their worth are the ones who effortlessly attract girls. This is because they're not chasing, playing games, or performing for approval, and women can instantly tell when a guy is desperate. They can smell desperation like sharks can smell blood in the water, and nothing is more off-putting. Take a look at the truth. Being overly critical of oneself is akin to displaying a clear message, "I don't believe I'm good enough," which is the most significant deterrent for women. They want a man who is sure of himself, doesn't mind being alone, and knows his worth. This is where Stoicism comes in, a philosophy based on self-mastery and resilience. The Stoics didn't care what other people thought of them. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most important Stoic thinkers, said, "It never ceases to amaze me." Everyone loves themselves more than others, but we care more about what others think. Let that sink in. This is what Stoicism is all about. Stop living for other people's acceptance. When you adopt this way of thinking, real power comes from within. Everything changes. You stop worrying about what she thinks of you, whether she'll text you back or if you're saying the right thing. Instead, you become focused on living a life you're proud of, building your strength, your skills, and your purpose. Women don't fall for the guy who needs them to feel complete. They're drawn to the man who is already whole. Now let me ask you this. Are you ready to let go of the lies you've been told about what it takes to be attractive? Are you ready to step into the kind of confidence that doesn't fade, that doesn't rely on external validation, and that can't be shaken by rejection? Because once you do, you won't just change how women see you, you'll change how you see yourself. This isn't about tricks or tactics. It's about becoming a man who stands tall in his own skin, the kind of man who doesn't need to chase, because his presence alone commands attention. Now picture this. You walk into a bar and across the room you see her. The kind of woman who would make most men freeze, stumble over their words, or overcompensate with a fake bravado. But not you. You don't get caught in that trap. Instead, you're calm, collected and confident. You smile not because you're trying to impress her, but because you're genuinely. Being yourself means not seeking approval or trying to get her attention. That energy is magnetic. However, this doesn't mean you ignore women or act uninterested. That's as fake as the over-the-top guy. It's crucial to demonstrate genuine interest while asserting that your life is not solely focused on her. It's about being open to connections, but never needing them to prove your worth. Let me tell you a story. If you see someone attractive at a party, most guys would be drawn to her like a moth to a flame, trying too hard to crack a joke by complimenting her every other phrase or two. It's worse when people act like clowns to stand out, but you don't fall for that trick. You're not Des to make a move. Instead, you enjoy the night and talk to other people. Laugh together and embrace the spontaneity. When the time is right, you approach her without a script or a nervous smile, but with cool confidence. There's no pressure, no overthinking, no what-ifs, and that effortless, carefree vibe is hard to resist. I used to think too much about everything. I remember that at a friend's wedding, I saw a woman who completely caught my attention. Instead of just being myself and relaxing, I spent half the night practicing what I was going to say. When I finally walked up to her, my nerves let me down, and I stumbled over my words. It was painfully clear I was trying too hard. She smiled politely, but the connection that night taught me something important, no matter how clever I was. You think your approach is if you're not sure of yourself and comfortable with it. Fast forward a few years, and I was in a similar situation. This time, though, I wasn't playing games with my thoughts. I was just laughing, having fun, and enjoying the moment. When I approached her, it wasn't to impress her. It was to share a moment. And you know what? It was easy, and it worked. Most men don't want to hear this, but women react to your energy as well as your words and actions. If you're nervous, insecure, or overcompensating, women will be able to tell, no matter how smooth your lines are. However, if you exude calmness, confidence, and genuine happiness, your energy will resonate more powerfully than any words you may utter. It's this unspoken presence that women can't help but notice and be drawn to, and this isn't just dating advice. This is advice for living that comes from old knowledge. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca taught people how to be self-controlled and find inner peace. They thought that people should live with a purpose instead of just trying to please other people. For example, Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, wrote that you have control over your mind, not outside events. Understand this, and you will be strong. Adorable phrases that bring people together. You are in charge of your own thoughts, feelings, and actions. Everything else is just noise. When you have this attitude, it shows in everything you do. You stop worrying about impressing other people because you're too busy living a life you're proud of. You don't chase attention because you already have purpose and fulfillment. This is what makes you stand out in a sea of men who are trying way too hard to be noticed. Tell me, what's more attractive? A man who's desperately trying to be someone he's not, or a man who's fully at ease with who he is? The latter doesn't just walk into a room, he owns it without saying a word. He's not acting, he's living. That's the kind of man women are drawn to. Not because he's chasing them, but because his presence alone is enough to captivate the world. Doesn't need another guy trying to fake confidence or impress people who don't matter what it needs. Is more men who are grounded, self-assured and unapologetically themselves. So the next time you walk into a room, don't worry about whether or not they notice you. Focus on being someone you're proud to be when you do that. Everything else, including women, will naturally fall into place. That's not just attraction, that's power. And it starts with you. Hold up before we go further. Could you share a single observation that instantly attracts women? Society has been telling you to worship her, treat her like a queen, and show that you're good enough. But let's be honest. When you put someone else above you, they put you below them. And let's be clear, no one respects someone who puts others below them. The harsh reality that most men avoid confronting is that treating someone as if they're invincible, akin to an invincible goddess, is not a sign of respect, but rather a sign of weakness. Respect is reciprocal. It's not doing everything to make someone happy or agreeing with everything they say just to keep them happy. That's submission. And let me tell you, women don't want a doormat. Think about it. Why do so-called bad boys seem to have no trouble getting women? Men use this as an excuse to justify their mistakes, not because women enjoy mistreatment. These guys don't treat women like they're divine beings floating above everyone else. Instead, they see them as flawed humans who can do both good and bad things, just like them. This way of thinking makes women feel less pressured to be perfect, and more importantly, it keeps the guy from losing himself in the process. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you attempted to be overly polite, agreed with everything she said, and made a concerted effort to demonstrate your superiority? 8 out of 10 times, she lost interest, right? Women don't want a man who treats them like untouchable queens. They want a man who respects them and himself. The guys who stand out are the ones who aren't afraid to have their own thoughts, even if they disagree with her. They're not rude or combative, but they're also not afraid to challenge her. Why? They perceive her as an equal, not as a mythical creature in need of constant pampering or impressment. If you act like someone is above you, they will start to believe it, and so will you. Confidence means knowing your worth and not letting others lower it. This is directly related to something the Stoics understood a very long time ago. One of the greatest emperors and philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, said, "Don't value yourself lower than others. If they are equal in virtue, why put them above you?" The lesson here is that everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time, no matter how beautiful or scary someone may seem. You are not less than anyone, and the moment you believe that, the dynamic changes in how to talk to women, like a Stoic. Women seek a partner who recognizes their true nature, piques their curiosity, and challenges them. It's not about being a good guy or a bad guy. It's about being a man who knows his own worth. So stop this game where you put other people down. Ladies, be respectful and kind, but never put yourself down in the process. Women don't need a follower. They want a partner who can stand beside them, not below them. If that hurts, that's okay. Sometimes the truth is uncomfortable, but it's exactly what you need to awaken and elevate yourself. Stop trying to please other people. Do something nice for yourself and see how things change. For a moment, let's get to the important stuff. Keep your standards high. Now, I'm not advocating for you to scrutinize every little flaw or demand perfection. That's not my intention at all. However, if you don't know what you're willing to accept, you'll likely settle for anything, which, believe me, is a surefire path to dissatisfaction. While having high standards doesn't just mean what you want, it also means what you demand from life. It means having clear values and making sure that the people around you share them. You see, when you refuse to settle for anything less than what you deserve, it sends a loud and clear message to everyone, especially women, that you respect yourself. And guess what? That's what attracts real, long-lasting connections. Let's break it down. Let's say you're dating someone and they start to treat you badly, or like you're not worth their time. Most guys would either ignore the warning signs or make excuses, but not you. You've built your life around standards that you won't accept. When you follow those rules, you show that your time is valuable, and women will respect you more because they know that a guy who values himself won't settle for less, and that's a powerful force. Let's talk about something that most guys don't really get: building unshakable confidence. Through Stoic wisdom isn't about coming up with a clever line or playing mind games to trick someone. It's not about tricks or gimmicks. Real attraction is raw. It's about living your life with purpose, doing what you want to do, and being unapologetically yourself when you're doing that. When you've got your life together and you know what you want, you become a magnet for the right people. Women can see through the "nund." When you don't need approval and actually respect yourself, that's when you have a superpower. Now, for the harsh truth: if you don't set high standards for yourself, you'll fail. You'll attract bad people, get stuck in bad relationships, and worst of all, you'll lose sight of who you really are. Start today and elevate your standards. High. Hold yourself accountable. Live your life like you actually matter, because you do. And when you do that, women won't just be attracted to you, they'll be compelled to be part of your world. At the end of the day, it's not about playing the game, it's about winning the game by being the best version of yourself. You're not here to chase validation, you're here to build something that lasts. You're here to show the world that your time, your energy, and your life are worth more than just being a stepping stone for someone else's happiness. So stop tolerating anything less than what you deserve. When you build a life you're proud of and you live it on your own terms, the right people will come to you naturally. Not because you played some game, but because you lived your truth unapologetically. That's real power. So how do you actually put all of this into practice? Let me tell you, it's a process. Your self-respect will not make you feel like a completely different person when you wake up tomorrow. And that's okay. Change happens slowly, starting with small changes in how you think and act. Here's a good place to start. Write down the things you love about yourself. It might feel weird or even awkward at first, but trust me, it works. Maybe you're a great listener, have a great sense of humor, or are really committed to your goals. Whatever it is, write it down. Those qualities on paper are like giving yourself a boost of self-esteem. It's the first step in really appreciating who you are next, to challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone. While I'm not advocating for extreme measures, it's important to engage in activities that trigger your nervousness, such as striking up a conversation with a stranger or enrolling in a cooking or dance class you've always desired. Every time you face a fear, even in a small way, you prove to yourself that you can do it, and that gives you real confidence. Here's another game changer the next time you're out. Somewhere, make a conscious effort not to try and impress anyone. Just be yourself, relax, and enjoy the moment. You'll be surprised by how much this changes your interactions. People are drawn to people who are open and honest, so here's a big tip. Pursue hobbies and interests that have nothing to do with dating or relationships. Indeed, nothing is more attractive than an individual who leads a rich and fulfilling life, whether it involves playing an instrument, traveling, or engaging in side work. Strive to find something that makes you happy and interesting. It will also give you a sense of purpose and happiness that doesn't depend on anyone else. If this video helped you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who might need to hear it. Click the like button and subscribe for more tips on how to completely change your love life. I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below with the most useful thing you learned from this video. You could be the one who helps another guy who is going through the same problems.